Hey folks, how you doing? This is Wayne S. Pierce for the American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. That is the website address. If you want to go check it out. I know that I'm a little late today. And I know that some of you are probably already home and tucked safely in your beds. Got your doors locked and all that. So, anywho, let me start off by saying this. First of all, I want to give a big shout out to my mother, who would have been 86 this year. Yeah, she made her transition from this life to the next a couple of years ago. And to everyone who has a birthday today, happy birthday. So there you go. Good. There we go. I'm having a good time. It's the 26th of June, 2017. I'm happy to inform you that I have gotten a part-time job outside of the studio because, you know, I do other things as well, not just this. I'm not here all day long, okay? But I do spend enough time in the studio to get a lot of the stuff done, a lot of the voiceover, a lot of the, recordings and all that. So I do have something outside of the studio. And it keeps me busy, keeps me out of trouble, that kind of thing. So, and I'm doing other things as well. Usually I record a podcast or do a live show. Normally for these, I record them in the morning. I'm just giving you some behind-the-scenes baseball here. I record them in the morning, upload them, and I'm good. There you go. You listen to them, you're good. Good all day. Had some things to do today, so that's why I'm recording it right now on the 26th of June 2017 in the evening. Also, I do theater. Yes. I put my feet on the boards of the theater now and then, and I have auditioned for a show. So, yes, I have that going on. So, a lot of the ALRN podcasts are going to be probably at night, maybe late at night, and I'll upload them and schedule them for the next day. So, I'm just giving you, heads up of what's going on. And we'll go from there. So, are we cool? We on the same page? You all right? Still going to listen to it, right? Still going to support it? Still going to, share it with people? You still going to let people know about American Liberty Radio Network? Yes. Okay, cool. We're on the same page. Virtual high five to all of you. You're good. So anyway, let me get on to the news. Get on to other things as well. Question. Big question. I always like asking people questions because I want you to interact with me. I want to hear from you. I want to know what is going on and how you see things. So big question here. I want to know who the Trump haters are out there so I can just avoid them like the Black Plague. Seriously. Because I don't want to deal with that idiocy ever again. Now, I live in Billings, Montana, and there were a few people that told me along the way, we've been here for a couple of years, but I've had people tell me that they are a Hillary supporter, they are Bernie Sanders supporter, they want Edward Snowden and Julian Assange in prison and all that. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is a conservative state. Why are these idiots here? I'll make it plain and simple for you. Okay? They're here because it's a disruption of the flow of good things happening in America. Now, they've been living here most of their life. I've talked to several of them. They've grown up here. They've migrated here. Yes, they're transplants from another state, as I am as well. But I've talked to them, and they just seem to think that their whole view of let's not make America great again. Let's continue with the overspending, with the government involvement in healthcare and bankrupt this country. Let's continue with the welfare programs of, the housing and urban development, and let's bankrupt the cities and the counties along the way. Let's just bankrupt the whole system. This is the Democratic Party, the Democratic Socialists, the one half of the Progressive Party, and that's what they want. They don't want to see the American flag over the White House. They want to see an America that is totally in the toilet. And I've sat down many years ago when I was, in just researching all of this as well back in the 90s when Clinton was president. I was asking those people the same question. It's like, why don't you want America to be the positive, uplifting, innovative country that it has been for many, many years? Why do you want to destroy it with your fascist, Marxist, communist ideals? And these Democrats, Democratic Socialists, these pinheads on the other side kept telling me, well, that's not what we want. Okay, sit down. Let's talk about it. What do you want? This is what I said. Let's sit down. Let's have coffee. I'll buy you a coffee. Let's sit down. Let's talk about it. Nope. Nope. They don't want to talk about anything. They don't. They don't want to talk about anything when it comes to, making America great again, borrowing the phrase from President Trump. They don't. Because they don't know what they want. Okay, overall, in the grand scheme of things, they don't know what they want. But they'll tell you they want free college, they want free health care, they want women's health to be priority, they want all of that. And you know what? When they go down the line of that list of the things they do want, sounds a hell of a lot like the Republican Conservative Party. Here's a little twist on that as well. I said one half of the Progressive Party earlier, a second ago. Well, guess what? The Republicans are part of that Progressive Party as well. And you can name them anything you want. Conservative, fascist, whatever. No. It's Progressive Party. Progressive Party. Now, go look it up. Now, since you're not going to go look it up, and you're probably not in a way, anywhere near looking up whatever, let me look it up for you. Progressive Party. I'm typing, as you can tell. Here it is. Progressive Party of 1912 was an American third party. It was formed by former President Theodore Roosevelt after he lost the nomination to the Republican Party to his former protege, President William Howard Taft, who had since become his political adversary. Okay? Now, let me go here to ushistory.com. I'm just giving you all of this information, and I'm telling you where it's at. U-S-history.com. The Progressive Party was a factor in the presidential campaigns of three men, Theodore Roosevelt, Robert Follett, and Henry Wallace. There were a few Progressive Party organizations spanning this period of time, but after the 1952 elections, they disappeared entirely. The first incarnation was, as I said before, in 1912. Theodore Roosevelt led progressive elements out of the Republican Party. Out of the Republican Party. Roosevelt had made no secret of his low opinion of President William H. Taft and felt he could not support the ticket. Taft had particularly angered Roosevelt, an ardent conservationist, there he is, by removing Gifford Pinchot as chief forester. Roosevelt struck out on his own and formed the Progressive Party, saying he was as fit as a bull moose, from which came the colloquial name Bull Moose Party. His platform called for tariff reform, stricter regulation of industrial combinations, women's suffrage, prohibition of child labor, and other reforms. The new party nominated Roosevelt for president and Hiram Johnson for vice president. Although the progressives finished well ahead of the Republicans in the election, they lost to the Democratic candidate. Wilson, well, let me go down here. Woodrow Wilson, when Roosevelt returned to the Republican fold in 1916, the Progressive Party vanished for a time. In 1924, liberals were so frustrated with conservative control of both major political parties that they formed the League of Progressive Political Action, better known as the Progressive Party. Robert La Follette of Wisconsin, a Republican, decided to run for president as an independent, but later accepted the nomination of the Progressive Party. Senator Burton K. Wheeler, a Democrat from Montana, was nominated for vice president. The party advocated government ownership of public utilities and such labor reforms as collective bargaining. Bum, 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 that's where your unions came from. It also supported farm relief measures, lower taxes for persons with moderate incomes, and other such laws. Although La Follette received 17% of the popular vote, he only carried Wisconsin's electoral vote. Kind of reminiscent of 2016, isn't it? In 1934, La Follette's, that's right, son organized the Progressive Party in Wisconsin. Robert La Follette Jr. was elected to the Senate, but was beaten in 1946 by Joseph McCarthy. We all know about him. Yet another Progressive Party was formed in 1948. Former New Deal Democrats had become dissatisfied with the policies of Harry Truman and wanted their own party. They nominated Henry A. Wallace for president and Glenn H. Taylor for vice president. They advocated liberal policies that included rights for minorities, curbs on monopolies, and the repeal of the Taft-Hartley Act. Now, what is the Taft-Hartley Act? I will, if it comes up by itself, I'll let you know, but the web page decided to disappear on me because I clicked the button. Continuing, the party's platform. Hold on. All of that up to this point. The party's platform should have appealed strongly to blacks, intellectuals, and labor union members, but the support given them by the Communist Party was used against them by both major parties, Republican and Democrat. The progressives maintain their right to accept support from any group. This was high-principled but politically fatal. Wallace received only 2.4% of the popular vote and carried no state. In 1950, the party opposed America's decision to fight in Korea. Wallace split with the party's leadership on the issue and resigned from the party. The Progressive Party disappeared after 1952. Only time will tell if another Progressive Party will be formed. And this is from, well, I'll put that on the American Liberty Radio podcast for you. How's that? On Facebook. I want to make a note right here. I want to make a note. And that is, when you look at the parties of the United States of America, when you look at the political parties of the U.S., think about this for a minute. Think about this. I'll lay aside all my opinions about what these crazy people are and all their constituents. I'll put all that aside. Look at the parties in America. We have the Democratic and Republican Party. We have the Independent and Libertarian Party. We have, wait for it, the Communist Party of the U.S., the Socialist Party of the U.S., the Nazi Party of the U.S. They're not on the, in the areas to vote for anything, but those three are very prominent in our country. So the fact of the matter is, and here's what I want to say, there should never, ever, 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 ever be political parties in the United States. There shouldn't. Because each state should be able to vote their conscience, not their party's ideology. And if we still want a Washington, D.C., a 10 square mile piece of land out there, that's the only piece of land that they own, that the federal government owns and should own, if we still want people to go there, then we need to do this. We need to put 3 representatives, a senator and a House of Representative in each state, including the governor of that state. That would give us 150 people in Congress, not the 535 people we have there now. Now, let me also propose this. Fire all lobbyists, all special interest groups, get rid of all redundancy in Washington, D.C., bring the military home and tell all those countries that are engaged in civil war in their countries that we are not the world's police. We're going bye-bye. You're on your own. Okay? We need to tell Big Pharma and Big Agra, who are basically in bed with one another, to stop the bull crap. We need organic farms like your grandma used to make or your great-grandma used to make in your backyard. My grandma, my mom's mom, we had a garden. We had corn. We had tomatoes. We had zucchini. We had carrots. We had potatoes. We had, you name it, we had it. My grandmother used to come over, and we'd pick some food, take it in my mom's kitchen, clean it all up. My grandmother clean it and cook dinner. That was it. No pesticides, no nothing. Well, we had, keep bugs off, but that's it. My grandmother would drive out of town into these little country areas that were out there where she grew up as a kid near Stockton, California, out near and in the city of Linden, California. She would go out there and go to these little side places, these little, whatever they are, that you'd never see anymore. These little food stands, these and they had everything in there. They had all the fruits and veggies and milk and all that. And milk wasn't pasteurized. It was organic, cleaned up, whatever, and then sent out to this little food stand out there that my grandmother and I used to go to when I was a kid. Let me tell you something. That's a hell of a lot better than what they have now. I mean, I'm talking tens of thousands of times better than what we have now. Okay, period. We had Big Pharma, Big Agra, FDA, all these other alphabet soup organizations that deal with the food and regulations and all that in this country come along to those people and say, you can't do this anymore because it doesn't fall within our regulation. Well, these people were saying, you never sent these regulations to us for us to approve. And guess what the government did? We're the government. We approved it. You're in the wrong. That's pretty much what they did. That's pretty much what they did. There's no freedom in this country. You tell me, folks, right now. Tell me in the comments section down below on the Spreaker side of things, or send me an email at AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. And you tell me how much freedom we have to grow our own food in our backyards, to eat of that food in our backyards, and to sell that food from our backyards. We don't. And if we did, we'd be a hell of a lot better. I remember helping my dad go out in the backyard. We had corn stalks. I mean, we had corn, it was tall. We had 2 rows of corn. We had a couple of rows of potatoes. We had a couple of rows of, my dad liked zucchini, so we had that. And we had carrots. And we had tomatoes. And we had all sorts of, we had this. This is what we had. And this is how I ate. Of course, my mom went down to the store to buy the meat, hamburger, stuff like when it didn't have all that bull crap in it that it has now. And we were able to eat. Now, the question was, in my mind back then was, well, why can't everybody do this or anyone do this? Well, they were. They were. There was so many, in our neighbor, in the back of us where I lived as a kid, they had pomegranates. And the lady next door on one side of us had a full garden of food. But you don't see that anymore. Why? Because the federal government doesn't want you to sustain yourself on what you can do for yourself, period. This is why the Democratic Socialist and the Republican Fascist are in the Progressive Party, to bring about this idea that the state owns everything you have, period. That's their goal. There's no question about it. That's their goal. That's their goal. I just don't understand why we can't have, when we have the ability to do so, but we can't have the liberty and the freedom to do so, to grow our own food, to milk our own cows, to, raise our own chickens and pigs and all of that. I don't know why. Here's a perfect example of what I mean about government intrusion into your rights to sustain yourself. Bundy Ranch. Period. Bundy Ranch. Okay? I'm not going to say any more about that. You can go look that up yourself. Okay? I challenge you to go look that up. I'm not one to Mama didn't raise no fool and Grandma taught me better. And I'm not one just to, spout off and, not have the information to back it up. I have the information to back it up. I'm asking you, since I just can't walk over and hand it to you, to go look this stuff up yourself. Okay? There's a reason why we do things. Now, let me also say this. We have a reason to follow the Constitution and the Bill of Rights of the United States of America prior to 1871, the Act of 1871, Organic Act of 1871. We have a duty to support and defend our Constitution against enemies foreign and domestic. Yes, I was in the military. And we need to stand upon the rule of law of the Constitution ratified in Congress on the 15th of December, 1791. Period. Boom. That's it. Done. That's what we need to do. The problem is, our government, Washington, D.C., in their infinite ignorance, does not want us to be sustainable or to help ourselves be sustainable or to help our neighbors be sustainable. Because Washington, D.C. has their hand out saying, here, we can help you. Just take our hand, bow down to us, we will help you. And let me tell you something, folks, and pardon my American language here, but that's bullshit. The Supreme Court has even said we don't have to do that. We don't have to bow down to the, in the shrine of Washington, D.C. The Supreme Court told us that. But then now we have, or that was, years ago, and then we had that all screwed up through the Bush and Obama administrations. Now we're getting back on track again, though. We have gotten away from viewing the government as our sugar daddies, except for a few people around the country. And we have now decided that this country is ours and we're going to take it back no matter what. And we're going to build upon the Constitution and the Bill of Rights, the rule of law of the United States of America. There's nature's law, there's man's law, and then there's the rule of judiciary law, which, of course, let me throw this redundancy in there, is man's law. So let me retract a few things. Let me regroup, reset. There's man's law and God's law. Which one do you want to follow? Supreme Court agrees Trump travel ban constitutional. Trump administration racks up yet another victory. Millie Weaver at Infowars.com, 26th of June 2017, breaks down the day's biggest news, including Supreme Court's decision to allow President Trump to enforce his travel ban. Okay? That's going on American Liberty Radio podcast. This seat I'm on just cannot stop farting. It's a leather seat, folks. Excuse me, that just jumped up out of there. I have another question for you. Before I go to break at the bottom of the hour, I got another question for you. Here we are in the United States of America, the greatest country in the world. Here we are, we're looking at everything that's going on, good, bad, ugly, indifferent, we don't care. We're seeing what's going on. And my question is this. How many times have you wanted to get up and go do something about what was happening? Huh? How many times? I never understood, and forgive me for my ignorance. I never understood why people looking at the United States of America as their home would ever stand up and defend it. I don't know why people won't. I'm right now excluding the military, whose job it is to defend this country, not getting themselves involved in foreign wars, foreign civil wars, all of that. They need to be back here, all of them, all millions of them, back here in the United States protecting this country, period. From enemies, foreign and domestic. Talking directly to the military on that one. So, how many people are going to get up and do something? How many people are going to get up and do something? We can take 200,000, 300,000, 400,000, 500,000 people to Washington, D.C., and we can make them do what we want. The only unfortunate part is, there's not enough people around that want to, as Brian Lang would say from LiveTruthRadio.com, stand up, speak out, get involved. I don't believe there's 500,000 people out there that would ever, in the United States of America, get together and go to Washington, D.C. and protest. I don't even think there's 100,000 people. I don't even think there's 10,000 people that would do that. I really don't. I could be wrong. I could be. But I really, in my heart of hearts, I don't believe there's even 5,000 people that would go to Washington, D.C. Really. I don't see it happening. I don't see anybody standing up and doing anything. I don't even think 100 people would go to Washington, D.C. Oh my God, I got to take time off from work and do this and do that. I don't know, folks. I don't know. I'm going to go to break. This is American Liberty Radio Network, AmericanLibertyRadio.com. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com is our backup site. Go check that out as well. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Got a question? Ask me. No question is off limits. If I don't know, I'll tell you I don't know. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com.
You're listening to American Liberty Radio.
Create your own podcast. Spreaker has it all. Set up your account and get ready to record podcast or host live radio shows from your computer or mobile device. Spreaker's wide range of tools covers every step of the podcasting process, from simple recording and broadcasting apps to analytics on your audience. You can upload your files or migrate content over using the RSS importer. Host your show today. For more information, go to Spreaker.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Distorted Reality. I am your host, Nick Tucker, and I welcome you to the broadcast.
Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker. DistortedReality.podbean.com and Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on American Liberty Radio Network. Hey folks, welcome back. Welcome back. How are you? Hey, some of you advertisers out there, some of you people out there looking to advertise on a network, please consider American Liberty Radio Network. Yes, I'm looking for advertisers, folks. Yeah. How else do you think this thing stays afloat? You know what I mean? That's why I got a part-time job. So, you know what I mean? So, hey, if you can help out with $1 or $2, hey, that's cool. All right, you can go to AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. That's our backup site. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Go to the sponsors page. Yeah, right there. All the information is right there on the sponsors page. And if you don't want to advertise on the network, hey, cool. There's a Become a Patron. Right there. There's a link right. Become a patron. Drop $1 in the kitty and help us keep the lights on around here so I can quit my day job. Okay. So, no, I got the job because I need to be active. That's one of the reasons why. Okay. That's one of the reasons why. It's not that I'm not active. I'm active in the movement. I'm active in theater. I'm active just all over the place. But I need to have, a few bucks to put in my gas tank. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, if you want to advertise on the network, please do. Please consider it at least. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com, AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Go to the sponsors page. All the information is right there. And again, if you don't want to advertise, become a patron, drop $1 in the kitty, and hey, we're good. We're good, man. So, anywho, let's get on to something else, shall we? Let's go on to something else, because I think, and I could, and again, I could be really, really wrong in this, but I don't think so. I don't really think I'm wrong. Okay? Now, the things that I see and the things that I tell you about, they're out there. Anybody can see them. They're out there. They're in your face. They're there. That's just what it is. And the question is, in my own mind, so I'm going to ask this of you guys is, here are all these things happening, right? Well, where's the damn psychopath that started all this crap? Where's the group of people that decided that they were going to, come in and control Washington, D.C.? Where are these people? I can tell you 3 places they're at. Number 1, Washington, D.C. By the way, folks, Washington, D.C. is a city-state. Go look that up. Also, the other place that they come from is Bohemian Grove out in California. Go look that one up. And, of course, the Bilderberg Group. Okay, go look that one up. So those are the 3 places that these psychopaths come from. Okay? Now, I can sit here all day, all night, giving you a history lesson of how these people really corrupted the system, but, I think you guys are smart enough to go out and figure that out on your own. Very fake news scandal consumes CNN. Quote, on Friday evening, CNN.com fully retracted a story after questions were raised about the accuracy of the reporting and sourcing, unquote. The scandal surrounding CNN's mishandling of a very fake news hit piece on President Donald Trump and his associates grows bigger on Sunday night as the network's president, Jeff Zucker, and public relations team is refusing to comment to anyone, even to CNN media reporter Brian Stelter, about what happened. Stelter, in his Sunday evening newsletter, named for the television program he hosts, Reliable Sources, credited a Breitbart News investigation with forcing what he admitted is an embarrassing retraction for his employer, CNN. Okay. Stelter wrote, on Friday evening, CNN.com fully retracted the story after questions were raised about the accuracy of the reporting and sourcing. Quote, the story by Thomas Frank of the investigative unit said Congress was investigating a, quote, Russian investment fund that ties to Trump officials, unquote. Yeah, it didn't get TV airtime, but it was shared on the web, where it was spotted and scrutinized by Breitbart. Excuse me. On Friday night, the story was replaced by an editor's note, quote, that story did not meet CNN's editorial standards and has been retracted. Links to the story have been disabled, unquote. The editor's note included an apology to Trump ally Anthony Scaramucci, who was named in the story. The next morning, Scaramucci responded via Twitter, quote, CNN did the right thing, classy move, apology accepted, everyone makes mistakes, move on, unquote. Some prominent conservative figures like Donald Trump Jr. and Sean Hannity seized on the story as an example of anti-Trump bias and anonymous source malfeasance. But then, after calling this episode, quote, an embarrassing moment for CNN, unquote, Stelter dropped a neutron bomb on his own employer. He revealed that CNN is refusing to comment on or explain the matter, even to CNN. The rest of that is on American Liberty Radio podcast. It's not an omission or a cover-up. It's just them explaining to you that the CNN standards and yada, 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 basically what they're saying is, oh, we couldn't BS you enough for you to believe our BS. And now the CNN corporate heads are going, hey, you want to tell us about this? And they're going, no. So there you go, folks. Right there. It's not a cover-up. It's just like, we don't want to talk about this. Now, that's basically what it is. So here we are, folks. We're in the United States of America. We have the ability to grow beyond the boundaries and the limitations that others have put on us. We are literally a land of people who are innovative, resourceful, and create entrepreneurial opportunities for everybody. This is what America is about, period. There's a problem, and the problem is really simple. And it doesn't take a genius to figure this one out. Maybe it does. I don't know. I figured it out. And it's this. We've got Democratic Socialist and Republican Fascist on one side called the Progressive Party. I'm labeling them that because, well, that's what they are. We've got that faction of Washington, D.C. We, the people, are looking over there going, there's a group of people with, a bunch of suitcases, a bunch of briefcases, and a bunch of filing, they're filing briefs in the Supreme Court to try to get their way. So that's basically what they're doing. Oh, wait, let me not even stop there. We have the other half of Washington, D.C., or the other part of Washington, D.C., that says, well, we need to do the right thing according to our standards, and we're going to develop this, and we're going to say this to the people because, they don't know any better. You have that part of, what I call the BSers, okay? They'll say anything to get into office, and then they'll do anything to stay there. You know what I'm saying? And then you have another group of people in Washington, D.C., who do the right thing every single time, who get up in Congress and call these people out for what they are. Okay? I mean, seriously. This is what we have. This is what we have in America right now. Out of 535 congressmen and women in Washington, D.C., I'm going to say, and probably be very close in my determination of this, we've got probably maybe 50 people that are doing the right thing or pushing to get the right thing done. That's a lot of people. That's 480 people that are doing everything backwards, that are trying to destroy the Republic of the United States of America. We are a constitutional republic that is supposed to be represented by people that we vote to go into Washington, D.C. By the way, the other thing we need to get rid of is the Electoral College. Somebody once said, in this last campaign when when Donald Trump won the presidency, they said even without the Electoral College, he would have won anyway, and he would have walked right into the office. So it really didn't matter, and as far as I'm concerned, we don't need the current version of the electoral process. I want to say Electoral College, but it's not really a college. It's not really a building that you go to get educated. It's nothing like that. It's an it's a body of people that are overseeing the electoral process. Let's put it that way. We don't need them. Or we need to seriously revamp it to where, guess what? Your vote, my vote, it counts. We vote majority. There's a majority vote. There's that to deal with. But a lot of people say, no, we can't do that. A lot of people say we can't do that. A lot of people say we're not able to do that. And even if we got rid of the Electoral College, that would mean that people like Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders or, some other, doofus in Washington, D.C. would become president, and we don't want that either. So this is why I say we need to revamp the process of the electoral body, the process in which which is kind of silly thinking, which is confusing to me. Why am I voting for a certain candidate? That vote goes to another body of people and they pass on that vote or vote on their own. It doesn't mean no. We're voting for the delegates. We're voting for, not the delegates, we're voting for these members of that body of electors, and then they vote for the president. This is why I've told you, and Nick Tucker has told you many, many times, our votes don't count. None of them. Because once it goes to that body, then they can go, well, we got 1,300 votes in this district. Let's just make it 700, shall we? And let's put the other 500 on, on a waste vote. I mean, I don't know if they do that. I'm not there, and I don't have any proof or evidence that that's what they do. But I myself want direct voting. I don't want this bull crap that we have now. We need to revamp the electoral body of people. Or let me rephrase that. We need to revamp the policies and procedures within that body of electors. We need to do that. Other countries, they have it very simply. You vote for this person and that person. And if you have more votes for one person over the other, that one with the most votes wins. That's how we should have it in the United States of America. But we don't. You know why? I'll tell you why. Voting machines. I remember when I first cast a ballot for president back in, many years ago. And it was a checkbox. You just fill in that box, fill it in, there you go, fill it in, and then, give it to the person, and they go and count them, and yada, yada, hanging chads. Okay, you remember that? But anyway, that's how we used to vote. I remember learning about government and about how the quote-unquote democracy of America works when I ran for sergeant at arms in my elementary school in the 3rd grade. I began to watch the process even then, and I began to see little flaws and little problems developing over time. By the time I was in high school, and Jimmy Carter was president, I looked at this whole electoral system and the way we vote and all of that. I looked at that and went, it's a freaking joke. Our votes don't count. The process that was laid out by our founding fathers was a group of people over here vote, a group of people over there vote, and we have these candidates, and whoever gets the most votes wins. That is how it was set up. Until some freaking genius decided to put some items in this whole Constitution about the electoral, body of people. It's like, wait a minute, why are we having a third group of people take our votes and go from there? Doesn't make any sense to me. Hey, if you ran for an office in your local city and it was meant that you ran and there was somebody opposing you and hundreds of people voted for you and less than hundreds of people voted for the other guy, you would win. That is how we need to do it, period. A lot of people hate that. That means Hillary Clinton would have won. No. Go back and look at the votes. Go back and look at every single vote there was, excluding about probably, 7, 8, 9, 10% of that as being, criminal, voting, what I call criminal voting, where illegals voted when they shouldn't have, where people voted multiple times in various counties and districts. Just throw all of that out. Donald J. Trump won the presidency because people wanted him and did not want Hillary Clinton or Bernie Sanders, period. I don't want to hear any more crap from people. Well, he won because it was collusion between the Russians and No, it wasn't. The FBI has already come out and said, nope, never happened. Never happened. Researchers and investigators have come out and said, nope, never happened. So there you go. So now, how do we manage, and I say manage because here it is, 2017. How do we manage Washington, D.C.? Well, to be totally honest, we, the people, don't. Because there's a group of people that own and operate and fund Washington, D.C., and it sure as hell, and we only have a small part of that. We only have a small part of funding Washington, D.C., and with our tax dollars. And that's another thing I want to talk about, is taxes. Oh, God. Anyway, you know what? I haven't taken a break. Have I? I took the one at the bottom of the hour, didn't I? Oh my God. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Hey, don't go away. Don't go away. Don't come back, please. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. That's our backup site. Go check that one out. And AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. And I'll be back. Don't go away. You know what you want. You want the truth. You want the facts. Without all the BS. American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Distorted Reality. I am your host, Nick Tucker, and I welcome you to the broadcast.
Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker. DistortedReality.podbean.com and Distorted Reality with Nick Tucker on American Liberty Radio Network.
There's a show that's not afraid to ask questions no one else will ask. Not afraid to say
what no one else will say.
Friday nights at 7 p.m. Listen to Restricted Airspace with Tina Marie, where no topic is off limits. Conspiracy theories, paranormal activity, hoaxes, the unexplained. It's what we talk about. Question everything. Trust no one. Restricted Airspace with Tina Marie. Friday at 7 p.m. on the KCOR Digital Radio Network out of Las Vegas, Nevada.
Hello, everybody. This is Brian Lang with Live Truth Radio and TV. You're listening to Wayne S. Pierce with American Liberty Radio.
Television is a circus, a carnival, a traveling troupe of acrobats, storytellers, dancers, singers, jugglers, sideshow freaks, lion tamers, and football players. We're in the boredom-killing business. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, "I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore!"
American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.com. Hey, folks, how you doing? Didn't mean to scare you. How you doing? Hey. Yeah, welcome back. Had to take a little break there. Had to go do some, a couple of things. It didn't take me long. So, hey, I'm back. So, if you have any questions, comments, concerns, you want to tell me to piss off, hey, I don't care. You can tell me anything you want. Or ask me anything you want because, no question is off limits. If I don't know, I will tell you I don't know. It's as simple as that, folks. Email address, AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com, AmericanLibertyRadio@USA.com. Anyway, go to Spreaker.com if you have an idea for a podcast or a live broadcast. Spreaker is the place to go right there at Spreaker. That's SPREAKER.com. Spreaker.com. Go there. They have a package to fit your budget. So check it out. That's Spreaker.com. And hope to hear you on air. All right. There you go. Anywho. Feminist magazine demands white women abort their babies to solve racism. Quote, the white family unit must be destroyed, unquote. Yes, folks. I hear you, folks. I hear everything you're telling me, okay. No, I'm kidding, but I do understand why people would ask me why I'm talking about this. So the last article of the night is from Paul Joseph Watson, Infowars.com, 26th of June, 2017. A feminist magazine is calling on white women to solve historical racism and white supremacy by aborting all their babies. I'm not kidding you, folks. In an article entitled Beyond Pro-Choice, the solution to white supremacy is white abortion, unquote, writer Nicole Valentine blames, quote-unquote, get this, white families for standing in the way of a, quote-unquote, progressive society. I talked about the Progressive Party. By, quote-unquote, initiating their parasitism. There it is right there. Parasitism. Yeah. Parasitism. To exert, quote, full dominion over the enslaved and oppressed people of color, unquote. I am not going to read any more of this because I'm about to puke on my shoes about this. This is freaking ridiculous. I said freaking. Don't go all R-rated on you here, but this is freaking ridiculous. Okay? It's absolutely freaking ridiculous. Now, I want to point out at the end of this, right now at the end of this podcast, I want to point this out. I have no problem with people making up their own minds because I'm not in a position to make it up for them. So go out and check this stuff out on your own. If you would, please, thank you, if you want to know. I know that sounded kind of contradictory, but it's not. If you guys want to learn and understand and see what's going on, you don't have to believe what I'm saying. I'm reading you the articles, folks. I can give you the sources, but I'm sure you're smart enough to go out and do that on your own. I'm not here to throw you face down on the ground, throw your arm up behind your head, and tell you to believe everything I'm saying. No, I'm not. And on that note, let me also say this, number 2. I forgot to put number 1, but number 2, we are a collective group of people who have varying views and varying platforms that we believe in. Okay? We're not a melting pot. We're a group of we're collective together with varying ideas, which of course can mean a positive growth for America if we just come together and, stop looking at our differences and say, you know what? Hey, that's a good idea. We need to go look at that person's idea. Mama didn't raise no fool and Grandma taught me better. I am not prejudiced. I am not racist. I have friends of every race, creed, and religion that you can think of, and I guarantee you we can sit down, have lunch, and discuss the issues and walk away and still be friends. So, if people can't do that, you got some serious problems, okay? Serious problems. I'm just saying. I'm just putting it out there. You got some serious problems. I don't know, folks. I don't know. Maybe I've overlooked a few things. Maybe you want to share a few things with me that you think I've overlooked. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. American Liberty Radio at USA.com. Yeah, just send me what you know. I'm okay. Yeah, just go ahead. Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Go ahead. Folks, I'm going to get out of here. And, talk to you tomorrow. This is American Liberty Radio Network. AmericanLibertyRadio.weebly.com. Sharing the truth one fact at a time without all the BS.